Hi, everybody. Let's talk a bit about woke again. So you don't need me to tell you what an insane and stultifying and ignoble society all this woke nonsense has created. And perhaps if you do need me to tell you, then you're very likely already part of the problem. It's a problem that's been deliberately orchestrated by politicians, by the media, and by celebrities alike. Really, it's a problem that's slowly turning into, I think, a catastrophic undermining of much of the very bedrock on which society built its foundation. Namely, truths and facts, reason and logic, the bedrock of our civilization. By pushing their post-truth, faux compassionate woke ideology, the orchestrators are insulting. They're insulting our intelligence, let's be honest. They're encroaching on our liberty, and they're treating us as though we're as contemptible, derisible as they are. They're expanding their influence because they're being enabled by swathes of supine bystanders and actively encouraged by too many minds that lack sufficient critical prowess or the confidence or the courage to say how they really feel about this onslaught. But the thing is, look, it doesn't have to be that way. There are way more people out there who are already fed up with this wave of foolishness. And the tide of nonsense that these politicians, media personalities, and celebrities have created, it can be stopped. It can be turned back. It just needs enough people to insist that we're not going to desist and invite them to carry on destroying the foundations of our society. Everybody has a responsibility in this fight. So it's election year. So by all means, start with the people who purport to run the country. Penalize them in acts of defiance. Resolve, say, only to vote for someone who concurs that, I don't know, women don't have a penis. Vote for people that aren't obviously trying to, resolve to only to vote for someone who is not just feeding you lies by saying things that are so obviously a sleight of hand trick once you break down what they're actually saying. If a politician habitually utters statements that sound good but say virtually nothing, or say things where they're confusing costs with benefits or only focusing on tangible benefits, if they're being crafty with their language, if they're insulting your intelligence by saying this stuff, ensure that you do your bit to avoid voting them in again. These start with the election. These small acts of anti-woke rebellion, when accumulated, they can go on to make a significant difference. But it'll only happen if the silent majority are courageous enough to stand up to it and say, this is not the kind of society we like, value, respect, or desire. Thank you for listening, and make it happen. Stand up to this stuff. And then it's the only chance we have of it being eroded from society.